How about some tropical gourmand fragrances for you today? Are you enjoying this particular style? Do you enjoy gourmand fragrances in general? I'm a big fan, and I thought, you know what? Since Mugler's Angel Phantasm has launched, Angel Phantasm is Mugler's new flanker, and the original Mugler in 1992 was the very first gourmand fragrance. And now we have that fragrance going into a tropical gourmand direction. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about tropical gourmand fragrances, not focus on Phantasm as much, more on real gourmand fragrances, but I'm going to touch on Angel Phantasm as well. So if you want to find out about tropical gourmand fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. I'm talking about tropical gourmand fragrances. Are you into the tropical fragrances and do you enjoy them as gourmands? A lot of these tend to be vanillic, beachy, coconutty, and a lot of them are fruity as well. So it's a nice collection of fragrances that I enjoy. Not necessarily the most gourmand, because gourmands to me are really sticky, sweet, sugary, vanillic, caramelly, honeyed. These can get that close to that somewhat, but not really, because a lot of them do have some, freshness about them because in the end they're tropical. But, these are really nice collection of fragrances. But before I talk about those fragrances, I do want to touch on Angel Phantasm real quickly. It's supposedly coming here soon if it hasn't already since the launch of this video. And again, Mugler's Angel launched in 1992. It was supposedly the very first gourmand fragrance. It did combine a lot of patchouli with some gourmand notes. I don't consider it the most gourmand fragrance, but it was given that title of gourmand. But this Angel Phantasm features patchouli essence, bourbon, vanilla, amber, coconut, fleur de tiare, bergamot, and pineapple. I feel like the fragrance is getting a little denser as it stays. It's a bit thicker, but it's still very faint on me. It's not like really loud, but I like the idea of the original Angel mixed in with a bit of tropical touches and the fruits and things like that. So just giving you a suggestion for this one, just because it is that theme. So if you have a favorite fragrance in this category, do let me know, put a comment down. But we're starting the list off with number 15, Profumi del Forte Vittoria APUANA. You guys familiar with this house? This is an Italian house that they used to sell the fragrances over at Neiman Marcus at one time. And they came in long, tall, almost like, column-like bottles. They changed the bottles to this now. And this is definitely a very tropical, coconutty gourmand fragrance. Definitely very tropical gourmand. It has coconut, bananas, tiare flower, oranges, mandarin orange, bitter orange, vanilla, bourbon vanilla, and amber. Yeah. It has a lot of vanilla, it has a lot of amber, it's got the bananas, which kind of blends nicely with the tropical flowers, and of course citruses as well to give you some freshness. And the whole idea of the coconuts in here for a really delicious tropical gourmand. It's starting off the list. It's the least favorite when I'm comparing it here with the other fragrances, but if you like the idea of tropical gourmand, definitely try this one. I bought this one from Lucky Scent. It's, I can't remember the price, it's been a couple of years. But it was recommended by somebody, and I really do enjoy that one. The next one I've recommended quite a bit. It's MANCERA's Holidays here at number 14. And this is definitely, once again, very beachy and also has some fresh, breezy, sea breezy touches as well. So you have a bit of a marine layer covering up the gourmand touches with the coconuts, Ylang-Ylang, tiare flower, vanilla, and there's sandalwood here as well. Ylang-Ylang, tiare flower, typical tropical flowers. They'll really enhance a fragrance and take it to the tropical direction, which is what's happening here. And with the addition of the coconut and the vanilla, and the creaminess of the sandalwood gives me that very gourmand-like touches. But this, I feel like it's more beachy tropical gourmand rather than tropical gourmand, which is sometimes, more heavier with the gourmand touches. But definitely acts very gourmand to me. It's MANCERA Holidays. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Then moving on to the house of XERJOFF. It's CRUZ del Sur 2. I put this one here. It could go up a little higher, but as I always mention, I have a love-hate relationship with this one. Lately, I've been enjoying it. Sometimes it's more like sour milk, and sometimes I'm enjoying the fact that it's fruity mango with the milkiness in here as well. So it's almost like Santal 33, kind of a love and hate it, but not as much here like Santal 33 is. but there are some times I kind of don't like it for some strange reason. But it's mango, pineapple, candied fruity notes, apple blossom, exotic floral bouquet, vetiver, musk, violet, cedar. And the thing is, they don't have that milky touch listed. There's no milky notes listed. And this acts very milky gourmand and a bit chocolatey as well. And sometimes it acts a bit peachy too. But either way, CRUZ del Sur 2. Let me know if you're familiar with that. Let me know if you're a fan of it. This next fragrance from the house of ULYKA, it's NOTA LOCA. Totally tropical, totally fruity, totally gourmand as well. And it's an overdose, an explosion of fruits, tropical fruits here, giving me that kind of gourmand, tropical, fruity vibe. But it features mangoes, acai berries, coconuts, papaya, yuzu, cardamom, vanilla, tonka beans, musk. This to me is more of a fruity tropical gourmand rather than like your typical vanillic, sweet, caramelly tropical gourmand. So it acts very, very fruity, and there's a bit of tartness and freshness in here. But there's a lot of warmth as well under there, and when the fragrance is settling, you experience the warmth and it comes through after the freshness is kind of like dissipated and moved on. But this is ULYKA's NOTA LOCA, recently featured in mystery box number 4. Did you guys get the kit? Did you sample that fragrance? What are your thoughts? I almost put their other fragrance in here as well. Nota, the one that has a kind of like a pineapple upside down experience. I decided to leave it off because it's more tropical here than that fragrance, even though that's more gourmand to me, and it's a delicious pineapple upside down cake experience. I've got 2 fragrances from the house of TIZIANA TERENZI. This is number 1 at number 11. The first one, I should say, at number 11. This is HALLEY, this one right here. So this is a fruity gourmand, very tropical gourmand. It's passion fruit with peaches. There's raspberry here. There's cassis. There's musk and vanilla, woods, amber, floral notes, rose, and green notes. This wears fresher for me because it's the type of notes there are. There's a lot of fresh fruits listed here, so it comes off fresh and breezy. But eventually it does settle and get, you know, that kind of warm, vanillic, ambery woodiness when it's drying down. And it's a TERENZI fragrance, so it's extrait de parfum. It's long-lasting, it's concentrated, it's heavy. A little goes a long way. It's definitely a very long-lasting fragrance, but because of those fresh, fruity notes, it acts a bit fresh for me, and I think I can pull this up into summertime, and it doesn't get very heavy with the creamy gourmand touches. So it's HALLEY from the house of TIZIANA TERENZI. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Next, going to the house of PANNACO TAHAA. It's curd mango MAHACHANOK. Are you guys familiar with this one? So I should let you know, I actually sampled this fragrance way before it was launched, and I enjoyed what I sampled. They've captured the mango fragrance perfectly. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of CRUZ del Sur too. Are you guys getting that similarity? But it's really delicious, creamy, almost like mango custard gourmand, tropical fruity gourmand. So it's curd mango MAHACHANOK, orange, vanilla, saffron, creamy panna cotta, white musk, Tahitian vanilla, tonka absolute, and benzoin. So it's basically lots of mango here. They have the panna cotta as well. That's what's giving us that creaminess. But the mango is just overdose. It has that kind of sweet tart effect happening here with citruses and citrus vanilla notes as well. Light leathery touches, and then of course really delicious kind of dry down with a kind of an ambery, woody creaminess that's in the base notes. I feel like it's really great. And once again, I've gotten so used to this whole mango thing. I even did a whole mango video. If you haven't caught it, go catch that video. And honestly, I never mentioned in that video, I'm actually personally allergic to the fruit, so I can't really have it myself. But I like the idea of smelling it. And it was not a fruit that I enjoyed as much because of the whole allergy thing. But this is a really great take on mangoes. It's very creamy, it's very decadent, very gourmand, and again, really wonderful offering from this house. And I'm hoping that they launch something different very soon. But this is PANNACO TAHAA curd mango MAHACHANOK. However you say that, I'm not familiar with that word. But let me know if you've tried that fragrance. Next, moving on to the house of ADAMO Parfum. This is Juanillo, this one right here. Are you familiar with this one? This fragrance was also featured in the last mystery box. Hopefully you got to sample it. And this is really, really delicious. It's almost like a Middle Eastern date dessert for me. Nutty with the pistachios. Dates, of course, sweet, dried, fruitiness. Really yummy. I love dates. I don't know if you guys enjoy them, but they're really delicious. Here we've also got some coconuts giving us some tropical touch. So that's why it's a tropical, fruity, nutty, fruity gourmand. But along the way, you experience some musk ambroxan oranges and mandarin oranges as well. So it has some light citrusy touches. But the smell, to me, just reminds me of walking into a store that has, specializes in dates. It's the smell of the dates is what I'm getting here, mixed with nuts. It's something that we've done in my family for a long time. Take out the pits of the dates and stuff them with like almonds. That's one of my favorites. I love that taste. In this case, we have the pistachios. It's so yummy. So anyway, this is Wanila from the house of ADAMO Parfum. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. So up next, going to the house of Kajal, it's Icon. I've got 2 fragrances from this house, and this fragrance was featured in the mystery box as well. There's the front there. So this one actually is a fresh, fruity, tropical fruity gourmand. Really fresh, actually. And I like that about it. There's a tartness about it, and it's super delicious with lots of pineapple here. There's passion fruit, ginger, mandarin orange, jasmine, vanilla vetiver, pralines, black pepper, musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. For me, up top, it's really invigorating and fresh and fruity. And the dry down, it gets kind of vanillic and ambery and creamy woody as well, with some light earthy touches thrown in and musky touches. But this is definitely really delicious. I have 2 fragrances here from Kajal. There's a fragrance that they have called Lamar. Is it like Lamar? Maybe there's some faint touches. They also have Dahab. Is it like Dahab? Maybe there's some faint touches. But for me, this is so refreshing, invigorating, and I love the dry down with the fruits mixed in with the creamy vanillic gourmand touches. So that's Icon from the house of Kajal. Then going to the house of Lorenzo Pazzalia, it's Summer Hammer. This was recently featured in a Beast Mode Summer Fragrances video, and it's definitely that. It's overwhelmingly strong. All the fragrances from Pazzalia are super intense. If you like Beast Mode, check them out. This is mangoes, pineapple, coconut milk, white flowers, marine notes, musk, sandalwood, Indian amber, bergamot, and white rum. It's so overwhelming. It's a fruit basket with a lot of creamy vanillic, touches as well. And then, of course, the juiciness of the fruits, the mangoes, the pineapple, and then the whole tropical creaminess with the coconut and the coconut milk. It's super delicious. And if you like Beast Mode and you want this whole tropical gourmand effect happening, Summer Hammer. To me, it also acts a bit like a cocktail. Of course, you've got the pina colada vibe here. Pineapple, coconut milk together. And it has the addition of the mango, so it's uber fruity and creamy as well. So moving on to the house of Rirana, it's Coconut Nana, speaking of pina colada. This to me is a pina colada come to life. It's super delicious, very tropical, very gourmand, and a wonderful pleasure to wear. It's coconut with pineapple. There's also peach here. There's the tiare flower. There's frangipani, musk, and saffron. So you've got to have these flowers in tropical, fragrances. The tiare flower and the frangipani, very tropical smells. I love those smells. Really delicious. And you can totally, identify a tropical fragrance when you have any traces of that particular note in fragrances. And this, to me, those are supporting notes. It's mostly about the coconut and the pineapple and perhaps the peach as well, giving you this kind of a very pina colada effect. Minus the booze, but maybe it might come off a little boozy. What are your thoughts? So this is Rirana. It's Coconut Nanas. So up next, going to the house of Nila Vermeer Creations. It's a Bombay Bling. This one right here. This is a favorite fragrance of mine from this house. And I love the whole fruity vibe. There's definitely creamy undertone here, creamy dry down, which I love. But up top, it's very tropical fruits and tropical flowers. And along the way, you have this kind of vanillic, ambery, sandalwood creaminess, dry down. So delicious. It's basically puts you in that kind of a setting, a very tropical island destination. But it doesn't come off extremely warm until it's kind of drying down, of course, when it's time for the dry down. But up top, really wonderful creation here. Lots of great, tropical fruits and flowers. Creation by the perfumer Bertrand de Chafoul. That is Bombay Bling from the house of Nila Vermeer Creations. Then moving on to Kajal. Once again, this is Lamar. So this is a really delicious pineapple fragrance with a lot of warmth. I don't know if this acts like the pineapple upside down cake with the other fragrance I was just mentioning earlier. But this is very delicious, and it's a great alternative to the now discontinued Dolce & Gabbana pineapple. If you're a fan of that, try this. This is a lot more complex, and there's a lot more going on with it, but it's a similar idea. You've got the freshness of the pineapple, the sweet tart qualities of it, and the kind of gourmand, sweet, warm, vanillic, dry down when it's drying down, because that's what that fragrance was. But again, night and day difference, but similar idea for me. This is a lot more complex and wears like it, and it's absolutely super, super delicious. One of the best from this house. I think it's still my favorite, but Icon is actually starting to, tell me, hey, this one might be better than Lamar. But Lamar I love because I love warm fragrances, warm notes and ambery notes and vanillic notes. But the pineapple in here is a magical combination with the warmth. When you compare it to Icon, as I was saying earlier, it's a lot fresher. Eventually in the dry down, it does get warmer and vanillic, but here it's a lot warmer. You experience the warmth up top when you're wearing the part with the pineapple in it. So Lamar, really delicious. And it was also featured in the Scent Club way back when we first started. So next, at number 3, we're going to the house of Giardini di Toscana. It's Bora Bora. Bora Bora with its creamy gourmand touches with up top all tropical flowers. Really wonderful offering. It's the totally opposite of Bianco Latte, but this is going into that kind of tropical direction. Bianco Latte is a really delicious milky gourmand. Here we've got kind of a milky effect happening, but it's more about the flowers mixed in with the vanillic notes as well. So it features notes of ylang-ylang, tiare flower, coconut milk, vanilla, apricots, caramel, jasmine, white musk. So super delicious, guys. This is a really, really delicious fragrance. If you're not into the idea of Bianco Latte, try this one, especially if you like the whole tropical effect here. Really delicious. So that is Bora Bora from the house of Giardini di Toscana. Then moving on to the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This is Valorum. For a very decadent, white chocolatey, creamy, smooth, velvety smooth fragrance with passion fruit, almonds, white chocolate, musk, vanilla, tea, mandarin orange, ginger, lotus flower, and tonka beans. This to me is one of the best fruity fragrances from the house of Terenzi, and they've got a ton of fruity fragrances. In fact, I have a video on the channel of Terenzi fruity fragrances, and this one's really, really delicious. Really, I love the creamy smoothness, the velvety smoothness of the white chocolate. You can actually experience that whole melted chocolate quality mixed with the passion fruit and almonds. So, so delicious. Very, very yummy. Valorum for a wonderful, wonderful tropical gourmand fragrance from the house of Terenzi. And then I'm ending the video here with the last fragrance at number 1. It's Lumari's Porthole. Sure, is this a true gourmand? Well, there's caramel here, and there's also vanillic notes in addition to passion fruit and pineapple. So this is a fruity tropical gourmand, and it's a super, super delicious fragrance. But can't forget the salt. Salt in here just cuts through and kind of balances out all the notes. But along the way, you have some floral notes, ginger, white musk, and woods. One of the most amazing fragrances here from the house of Lumari, and I can't believe how good it is. I think it's the salt that's in here that actually makes this fragrance very balanced. It just gives it a bit of a marine edge without having marine notes, but having that salt. But it's super delicious, guys. So it's Porthole for a wonderful tropical gourmand fragrance. What are your thoughts on these fragrances? Let me know. Put a comment down below and let me know if there are any other fragrances that you enjoy in this particular tropical gourmand direction. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Last but not least, I've got a couple of budget options here for you. First of which is 4711's Aqua Colonia Intense Sunny Seaside of Zanzibar, which to me is a lighter take on holidays, by the way. If you like holidays, you felt it was too strong, go with the 4711. It features coconut, frangipani, vanilla, and watermelon. It does have a, that kind of a sea marine kind of an effect happening, but it's a lot of coconut, vanilla, and frangipani. So it's got this really delicious kind of an experience. Tropical, gourmand, marine all together. Wonderful offering. So this is 4711 Aqua Colonia Intense Sunny Seaside of Zanzibar. And last but not least, another budget fragrance. It's Rum Tropique from the house of Le Monde Gourmand. Are you familiar with this house? I've recommended a few of their fragrances here and there, and this is a really yummy, boozy tropical gourmand featuring pineapple, rum, coconut, milk, caramel. It's really delicious, guys, but it's really, really boozy with the rum note, and it's also really inexpensive. It's like $25 for a 30 ml, so it won't break the bank. And it's, again, a really wonderful offering with this kind of a very tropical gourmand effect happening here, but with an extra added dosage of booziness. Really wonderful Rum Tropique from the House of Le Monde Gourmand. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.